Hey soulmate, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please do as well to subscribe to our page. And on today's tutorials, I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve this shot by using the slash and spread method. If this is what you want to learn, let's go right in and learn. So on my pattern paper, like you're seeing right now, I went down by 2 inches to get my starting point, and this starting point is going to be my waistline. So for my waistline, I'm going to be marking out my full length for my knicker. So go ahead and mark the desired length you want from your starting point, which is now your waistline. So I'm going to go ahead to mark 20, but you can mark 19, 17 as you desire your knicker to get to, where you desire your knicker to get to. So as I was done, I'm going to go in ahead to mark with marker so it will be clearer. So I'm going ahead to mark with my marker, and I'm still going ahead to connect those points I got for my knicker length. So go ahead and mark yours the way you see me do. So next, I'm going to go in ahead to mark my waist to my hip. My waist to my hip, I'm marking 9 inches. Now there are different. So you have different sizes. You can mark 8, you can mark 7, depending on your size. So I'm going ahead to mark my 9 inches and connect. So I'm connecting it with a line, and this is what it is. So for my cross line, I'm going to be coming down by 2.5. Now this also varies depending on your size. Some make use of 3 inches and thereabouts. So but me, I'm going to be using 2.5 inch from my hip line to get my cross line. So I was done. So now your hip divided by 4, we're going to be using that to get a box and mark on our waist, hip, and our cross line. So I went ahead to label my pattern. We have the waist, hip, cross line, and knicker length. So I'm going to be going ahead to mark on my hip line, my hip measurement divided by 4. I'm still going ahead to mark that same hip line divided by 4 on my waist, and I'm going to connect it, which is now forming a box. So I'm going to connect it in line, just the way you see me do. Please go ahead. So the same thing I got on my waist and hip, I'm going to mark it on my cross line. Please follow me as I go. So I'm going to connecting it to form this line. Now this now serves as our center front. So for my cross extension, whatever I add under my cross extension from the center front to the seam sides, I'm going to be dividing it by 4, which is my hip measurement. I'll divide it by 4. So for instance, now I have 11 inches. I'm going to be dividing it by 4. So you may have 2.5. So I'm going to be putting 2.5 for my cross extension. So I'm going to be going ahead on my waistline. I'm going to be coming down by 7 or 6.5. This is to determine where the curve is going to stop. So as we are going ahead, we're going to do in some cases, some persons go in or go out by 1 inches on that part, but I necessarily don't use that. So just watch the way I'm going to be using my arm hole to curve or blend in my center front. So see the way I'm doing it. I'm going to blend in. So this is how it is, looking very neat. So we're almost there. So now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be implementing our measurements. So I'm going to be implementing my waist measurements. So where my tape is going to start from is from the center front, like you all know. So go ahead, divide your waist by 4, then mark it out just the way I'm marking mine out. So mark the same thing around your hip line. Notice that the hip line is for what we use in the initial start. So just go ahead and connect your line. Please, if you have a French ruler, French curve, you can make use of that. So I went ahead to connect mine, and I'm going to be blending into my cross line just the way you see me do. There's no curve, nothing, just blend it in. So next we're going to be getting our crest line, or you call it the midpoint of my pants, of my shorts. So from that my crotch extension, I'm going to be extending my tape to the end, and I'm dividing it into two. Whatever I have when I open, that's what is my center or midpoint. So I'm going to be marking it all the way from the waistline, from that crotch line to my waistline, just the same way you see me do, just do it the same way. And I'll go ahead and mark it on my knicker length, then connect the lines. Now this is now giving me my midpoint, which is also known as crest line. So this will enable me to implement my round tires or my round lap, as you all know. So my round lap, for instance, my round lap is 22 divided by 2, it will give me 11. So that 11, I'm going to share it on the different parts. So it's going to be 5.5 on the other side, on the left side, and 5.5 on the other side. So that's for my round lap. I'm going to be going ahead to connect the round lap to our cross line, just the way you see me. Just go ahead and do the same thing as you've seen me do. So afterwards, I'm connecting this. I'm going to connect the other side, the flap area, to my round lap, just the way you see me do. If you have been following from the beginning, you should be having this, exactly this. And this particular pattern, you can use it to draft your knicker. You can also use it to draft your full trouser. If you follow this pattern very well, you can also use it to draft your full pattern. So for this particular pant, we're not using anything that, but I'm going to show you how to do your that. So at that crest line, you go out by 0.5 inches, and you go down from that midpoint by 5 inches or 4 inches. So I'm going to be connecting my dart lines, but in this case, please, we're not going to be using the darts. I'm just showing you how to implement your darts on your pants. So this is how your dart would look like, and because you have taken that from there, you're going to extend the allowance, the inches that you've of your dart intake, by the waistline, which is 1 inch. Then you connect it back to your hip line. This is very simple and easy. Well, we're not using it. So I'm going to be going ahead right now to cut out my front pattern, and this is what the front pattern is. So I'm going to be using this front pattern to cut the back pattern. But first, I'm going to be tracing the lines. If you have a tracing wheel, it is very important at this point. But I don't have, that's why I'm tracing mine carefully on this plain pattern, so I can as well draft my back pattern for my short knicker. So just go ahead and trace round a plain pattern paper, marking out the same point. So this is what I did, and this is how it's looking. So I'm going to be using my marker to further strengthen the visibility, like the clarity. So I'm going ahead to mark out everything that was on my front pattern on this plain paper. So this is it. So on my cross extension for the back pattern, I'm going to be extending it by 2 inches. The same extension, cross extension we use for the front, that's the same inches we're going to be adding to the back. So we're going out again from the cross extension by 2.5 inches. So usually the back pattern is usually bigger than the front pattern when it comes to the cross depth, or the cross extension. So I've connected my lines. Now on the upper part of my waistline, I'm going to be going up by 2 inches. Now this is to determine where the new waistline would be. So while I went up by 2 inches, I'm going to be coming in by 1 inch from my center front line to get my new center back. I don't know if you understand that. So we now have a point for our new waistline for the back and a new point for the center back, just the way you see me. So right now I'm going to be connecting these lines. I'm connecting this point one and to the new crush extension and up to, yes, our waist line. If you have a French curve, it is very easy, or hip curve, it is very easy for you to connect with this, but I'm going to be manipulating this with my ankle and my roll. So just the way you see me do, that's the way you're going to be doing it also. So go ahead. So this is me connecting the points together, and yes, we have our new center back and our new waistline. So whatever our waist is, on that center back that you have, you're going to be slanting your tape down to get to that point where, yes, where you have your measurement for your waist. So see me marking mine. I'm going to connect it back to I'm going to be connecting, first I'm extending the line, yes, I'm going to be connecting that back to the center back, slanted, just the way you see me do. Just do same thing as you see me do. So, and I'm going to be connecting that same new waist to my hip. Yes, I'm going to be connecting it back to my hip. I'm connecting it back to the hip, just the way you see me do. Please go ahead and do same to your pattern. So I just connected mine. So on my knicker length, that's in the flap area, I'm going to be going out by 1/2 inch and connect it to my crush extension for the back, just the way you see me. This is only done on the back pattern, and you do same thing for the seam sides, 1/2 inch, and I connect back to my crush line. So this is it for the back pattern. I'm going to go ahead to cut around. Just cut the way you see me cut. So if you followed well from the beginning, you should be having this, exactly this. So we have our back pattern and we have our front pattern. This is lovely. So these are front pattern and these are back pattern. You could tell the difference between the both. So for the slash and spread method, that crest line, you're going to be cutting, that's where the slashing will start from. You're going to be cutting till you get to the waistline, but you don't cut all off. You don't cut all off. So you can spread as wide as you want it. And note, if you're using Ankara like the way I did, it's just going to stand. But if you're using a crepe material or chiffon material, it will just flow. It will be flowing. So you can also try any of those kind of fabric that you want to use. So this, I did the same thing for the back pattern. You can spread as much as you want to spread. So this is what we have here. So I went ahead to place on my fabric, and I'm going to be determining how wide I want it. I went ahead to measure and pin down. So I've determined how wide I want mine, and that is it. I'm going to be adding my allowance on my waist and crotch area. I'm adding 1/2 inch, but for the seam side I'm adding 1 inch. So go ahead and add your allowance. Go ahead, add your allowance. For the M part I added 2 inches, so you can also go ahead and add the same allowance. But first I went in to blend on that slash and spread area, so that it's not, we will not have irregularity over there. So I'm going ahead to mark my 1/2 inch all the way, just the way you see me do. 1/2 inch all around and 1/2 inch on my crotch area, just the way you see me. On the seam area I added 1 inches. You can decide to add 1/2, but it should not be more than 1/2. 1 inch is very okay. So on my M line I added 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead to cut it, and the same way I did this for the front is the same way I'm going to be doing for the back. Apply the same method for the back. So I'm going to be going ahead to cut it out just the way you see me. So I'm cutting out every bit of it. So like I said, this is a 2 video, and please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share, and I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Bye.